All right, we are live. Happy Monday, everyone. This is actually my take two because I had soup earlier and there was some sort of vegetable in my throat, and I kept drinking my smoothie, and there was quite a few interruptions. So I've gone to get a banana, which I'm now eating, and it has fixed the issue. But nevertheless, we are restarting this. I only stopped the other video probably like 3 minutes in. But yeah, happy Monday. We are an hour into London session. I'm going to start with GBPJPY. Yeah, alright, let's start with GBPJPY. Really nice distribution here, which, as you can see, got created by a very low time frame distribution, and that's something that we normally see. Distributions created with a tab one of a distribution being created with a very low time frame distribution in itself, and then you can have tab one of accumulation models being created with a very low time frame accumulation model, something like this. Obviously, that's not exactly tab one, and this is an accumulation thus far, but it can be. All right. And this is also technically not a valid accumulation, but you get the exercise I'm trying to show you. So we distributed, and what I did here, which I don't normally do, the entry presented itself during Asia, and I don't normally enter during Asia. I like entering during London, because London does normally have very nice manipulative moves. But yeah, nevertheless, top one, back off low, deviation one, extreme liquidity. There was no real extreme supply in here. Therefore, we sweep extreme liquidity quite nicely. We are also a slight deviation above our tap one, as you can see there. And I entered off the 5-minute breakup structure. This was not valid on the 10. I entered off the 5-minute breakup structure. Now, I did not enter as soon as price broke structure. What I did was, price did break structure. That's a valid break, but it's a very poor and low quality break, as we just broke. It wasn't like a nice clean break. It was a very slight break. So what I did, I noticed there was supply above us. Not the most high quality, but there was some decent, decent 1-minute structure supply pool above us. Price mitigated it, and then I pretty much entered as soon as I saw signs of weakness on the way back down, and that's when I entered. Now, yes, there is demand below us, which I was aware of, but given the beauty of this zone and just how nice the return to zone was, which I never really marked for you guys, but you can sort of see that there. Technically, this should be here. But yeah, we got a very clean return to zone, and I was confident in entering even with the demand being here. 2 reasons I'm not too focused on this demand is, number one, or I was not too focused on the demand. Number one, when we're in live market, it's not really backed by anything. Obviously, it's not backed by our volume area low, and it's definitely not backed by our volume area high. It is kind of hovering out around this volume area EQ, but it's not really too much to worry about. And also, another factor is that upon closer examination, this 2 or 3 minute, was it 3 minute? Yeah, this 3-minute structure demand didn't actually do anything. What do I mean by it didn't do anything? It didn't grab any form of liquidity. It didn't create some form of demand chain, or it didn't mitigate for some form of demand prior. It has not done anything. Therefore, I wasn't too worried. And as you can see, we mitigated, formed a very minor reaction, and then continued the downtrend. Now, the sort of error I've made was, because price moved so nicely and fairly efficiently down, I was confident that we were going to get London open and we were going to get a continuation down. So I moved my stop loss to break even, and as you can see, London opened, moved up, took out my stop loss, lo and behold, and has now continued this downtrend. Yeah. So it is what it is there. It happens. What I need to get, what would have been a better alternative was, rather than moving my stop loss, simply exit the position around here, based on how much I am risking. So let's say I have entered a position with $1,000 and I'm risking $10, which is 1%. I would not move my stop loss down here, but I would simply, whatever we are in profit down here, I would simply close $10 worth of my position. Therefore, if price does stop me out, I've pretty much broken even, as I've already taken my $10 profit that I would have lost. So that would have been the best case alternative there, which I did not do, but that's all right. We learn from our mistakes. And yeah, even though I haven't stopped out, I'm not going to re-enter, but I'm still confident that this will most likely complete its technical target. So once again, if you guys are in this, fair play. Was this mitigated? Oh yeah, very clean, very clean supply here. But yeah, this was my GBPJPY first trade of the week, which we have been stopped out not too long after. We'll start with Euro USD, and this is actually this could fall prime time into me taking this live with you guys. I haven't taken many live because it just hasn't presented itself that often while I've been recording, but we could see a live entry here. I'm just going to point out something. Perfect. We do have supply here, but you can still enter if we get the right confirmations, and just monitor, see, similar to GJ, see how price reacts upon this supply. This supply is actually a bit more, has done a bit more than the previous, because it's actually swept previous highs, whereas the other did not sweep previous lows. Ideally, I would like a mitigation of this demand loss. And we do have Asia highs here nicely waiting to get taken out. But yeah, so far for Euro USD, I am not too interested until I see a nice clean confirmation. make this a bit cleaner, shall we? Yes. Bravo, bravo, bravo. All right, as we sort of expected, we ran through this CME gap. This range has been absolutely terminated. And here is the notification: Euro USD has entered our demand, putting it at a potential too long. I'm not really interested in anything right now for AUD USD. We do have nice demand though below us. I just want to see what type of demand this was again. Two-hour, 3-hour OBIF. We have kind of moved fairly aggressively now, so I wouldn't really. I would like price to kind of start moving back up any minute now, just because the more it moves down, the less probability this long does become. So we will wait and see there. Yeah, GBP USD not really going to be taking any accumulations here. As we said, AUD USD, we have looked at that as well. USD CAD. This pair has been, excuse my French, but this pair has been fucking me in the ass. Like, all right, we've mitigated this demand. I had an entry somewhere here which I got stopped out on all the way back there. It's pretty hard to gauge where you'd enter, because if if someone was paying attention, they could have technically entered here because you had supply here, you had extreme liquidity, supply got mitigated, you broke structure around there, so you could have technically placed your stop above here, but then guess what? You would have hit this demand and been stopped out, which is exactly why I didn't enter, because for me this demand POI is just way too big of a demand, and you can see it's actually taken out all these lows here. Hence why I did not enter. But now that it has been mitigated, you could potentially look for entries. But yeah, so kind of wait and see what this pair does. Yeah, GBPJPY, we already looked at that. This is just it's always I mean, you've only got yourself to blame when you get stopped out, but then price continues to move in the direction that you anticipated that it will go in. GBP NZD. supply has been ran through, and this range has now been validated, and you can see that we are now approaching this most optimal reversal level, which I did plan out or map out, if you will. I'm going to leave this there just for my own sake, that I can see that there was supply there which we did run through, and now we have these two demand levels below us. So the GBP NZD, nothing as of yet that I want to really monitor up closely. I'm kind of just waiting for this level to get hit, and hopefully we can get some form of distribution. Euro GBP. Yeah, nothing really. Nothing really. Real bad, man. Real bad, man. Actually sounds a bit like the dude. Real bad, man. That's what you got to be in this trading game, ladies and gentlemen. A real bad man, or a real bad man. Because it is a cutthroat business, and it's a mad hours business. And yeah, and it's not for the faint-hearted. Like, you gotta have good psychology. Good psychology. You gotta have good, very good, and very, just very good discipline. You just have to be disciplined. Not get carried away. Not get flustered. Prime example is this. I've literally predicted which way the market has been going, but I'm not going to make a profit on it because I got stopped out because I moved my stop loss. So yeah, things like this, when it's very easy to get frustrated, but you do have to keep it cool, and you have to know that the markets aren't going anywhere. There's going to be another opportunity, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, maybe next week. There will always be another opportunity. Equal highs. Actually, no, not equal highs there. Yeah, I'm not really interested at the moment in Euro GBP. So I'm just letting it do its thing. Euro NZD. We really mapped out business yesterday. We've now entered this supply, which we can always expect some form of reaction, and we are in premium range. Just gonna be patient here. Not much to be done, as they say. USD CHF. Man, we had a really nice range here, which just got absolutely invalidated. However, are we pulling into anything here? Technically speaking, you can still take this. This can just be a mega Model 2. Let's see where our POIs are. This might be mitigated on the lower time frame. I have a feeling. We might even have overlapping structure there. This obviously got mitigated. that has been mitigated. Yeah, technically speaking, we have extreme liquidity here. I will allow this. In terms of extreme supply, this still stands. We have also created somewhat of a demand here, but we do have to realize that this demand is a manipulation demand. Or you could even call it fake demand. Fake demand. Reason being is the whole thing you can see here got created during the London Open, so it's a very manipulative move, which can trap a lot of retail because they'll see demand, but they won't realize this whole thing is just creating one big London Open move. So if we get a nice break of structure back down upon mitigating this, swooping this even better, but if we get a nice break of structure after, I will short it because I have no reason not to. It's still valid. We look at the distance here from tap 1 to what would technically be our tap 2, 3 days, 3 hours. 3 days, 4 hours, excuse me, and for a valid tap 3, you'd want it somewhere here. So we're just hovering in this 3-day mark, but we'll have to assess when price enters this. Should it enter? But yeah, you do have to realize that we have some very nice high lows piling up, making it a good for a short. Nice rejection from this supply. Pretty ugly distribution model, but there was some form of distribution here which occurred. All right. USD JPY. No, I'm not going to use this. You're in a pro-distribution environment, but it's kind of just a little bit messy up here. You kind of have this, which did complete itself. Tap 1, 2, 3. But using this is just a bit too extended. you've also got quite a bit of demand below. So I don't mind the music today. I hope it's not going to get copyrighted. That is always frustrating. Yeah, GBPJPY. Just waiting a bit more. Let's see what Euro's doing. This would still just be within our deviation limit. Just so yeah, you can see here, if we're not going to get a reversal now, then this accumulation has pretty much been it can pretty much go out the window. And it's also not a valid, yeah, it's pretty much already out the window, to be fair. The sixth candle rule isn't evident here, therefore this is not valid market structure using the sixth candle rule. Therefore, if we go, even on the 2 minute, you can see an inside bar candle, and inside bar candles are not valid. So yeah, even if we break above here convincingly, that's technically not a break of structure. That is not a break of structure. Break of structure is still up here and only on the 1 minute. So yeah, this can pretty much be invalidated already. However, yeah, it did up until here, it did create a nice liquidity curve. Nevertheless, we move. AUD CAD ran through this. And I kind of expect if we can get distributions in here, we'll take them, but this was a very, very nice distribution roll to be there. Clean flush down, man. Real clean flush down. Beautiful. Simply beautiful. Nice. Now, yes, we are in a confirmed accumulation model. Yes, we have grabbed extreme, so technically this, you should have taken your take profit at this extreme liquidity level. However, the schematic has not officially completed itself. It's still intact, meaning that if I can catch an accumulation anywhere in here, I will catch it. Yeah, we haven't hit our range. High yet. Is this going to happen? Probably not. I don't think it will. But just putting it out there, and just saying that you can still take accumulation models, as the model has not completed itself. It is still valid. Completed. This was really nice. Really nice. I did try to get a re-entry there, which never happened. That is on me. Fair play. Is this demand in here? I think so. Question is, was this mitigated on a lower time frame? But it's also been ran through regardless. Doesn't matter. What do I expect from this pair? Yeah, we are forming a nice sell side liquidity curve, which we can expect price to go lower. We can definitely expect price to go lower. And it probably will go lower, whether it's in the long or short term. You can expect this pair to go lower. And this distribution is just what we need to expect it to go lower. You know what? I'm actually going to redraw this. Gold has just ran through this accumulation, but I think we're still within a DL2. We are just. Given we get a spike back up into this range, then I will look for an accumulation. Straight up. Straight up G. Silver. Technically speaking, this is our range. Commodities to boom again. Is that our headline for this? Is that the thumbnail? Commodities to boom. Gold, silver. Are they going to break all-time high again? Probably not, but they definitely can accumulate. That's for sure. How's oil doing? Oil's still in didn't mention, but on FXTM, we haven't actually deviated this first tap. However, on Forex.com, this is just different broker, different spreads. On Forex.com, we have. So I will be monitoring this a bit closer than I'll be monitoring FXTM. But yeah, for oil, that's kind of what I am looking at. Let me check, see what else we got. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. GBPJPY as well. There you go, guys. That's lovely. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Quick, easy, simple, effective market check. If you have any questions, as always, ask me. And all the best. We'll catch you tomorrow.